Got them on. Nice, nice. You did something different to your hair too?
I didn't put any gel in it. Just took a shower.
Oh, all right, all right. I still got to do the shower. How was the day? How's everything going?
Good. Very good day today.
So this will be episode number 1 of the Long Island Dentist podcast. We're gonna get this going over time, and I only wanted you on for the first episode. And I thought,
Okay.
I know it's getting a little later, but I wanted to make sure we can have a quick discussion, a good discussion, and go from there. Yeah. How was
How's
the
my
day?
angulation? Angle good?
Angulation's good. It's
Yeah.
good. I'm thrown off by the hair because you usually got the
Yeah.
sexy slick
Yeah.
back. Which office were you in today?
Flushing.
Oh, so you had a busy day.
Yeah. Today was actually. It's been a while since we had a good day like today. So,
Oh, good. Well,
yeah, it was a little slow the last couple of weeks. I don't know why. So.
Well, people were saying that in between, but starting school, people
Yeah,
are getting
you're
back.
gonna see there's a little, throughout the years, a few highs and lows.
Yeah, and then what's the busy season? Do you think for all the offices the busiest?
I usually feel like it gets pretty busy from like mid-October to like mid-December.
That's number one, not the summer, like the wisdom tooth season.
Yeah, well, those two are pretty comparable because you do a lot of wisdom teeth summertime, but that October to November, it's more of like people trying to decide who've consulted, who've needed some significant work and kind of put it off to the end of the year, but they know they got to do it because they want to use up that insurance money.
Right. That makes sense. What would you say would be like the lightest time of year?
Now,
Right now, yeah, okay.
yeah, around the Jewish holidays and, kids going back to school, teachers going back to work, and now and also right around like early May during like communion season and graduation season.
That makes sense.
It's they all it's pretty cyclical. When you do this long enough, when it's going to be dead and when it gets more busier.
Do you find yourself like going towards certain offices or making certain maybe moves? Because over the last 5 years, you really kind of expanded the practice, right? 5 to 7. I think you were saying like the last 7 years, no? Do you think you look more into offices and kind of moves to make during certain lower seasons? I think that would make sense, no?
Kind of. I think even though I'm doing this is my 19th year in private practice, you still get those little like pits in your stomach when it gets a little slow. Especially now with this tremendous, payroll that I have, and it gets a little daunting at times. It always works its way out. Every year we do better and better than the last. It's just you got to ride the storm.
I mean, well, let's take a look at this analytically. I mean, you just lost 2 of your best surgeons, unfortunately, right? They moved to Florida. They're moving with family. And
They
then
moved.
you just...
But I got to tell you, I think that the doctors we just took on, very, very competent. Very competent. I'm very, very impressed. Actually feel that you and the other surgeons that came on actually have a lot better skill set from day one than I've seen in a while.
Really?
Which is...
I mean, I know some of those guys. I know Greg. I know Jason. I
Yeah.
chatted with Nick a bit. I know Brar that I'm with it.
Yeah.
These are good guys, Dr. Chen.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like Dr. Chen, Dr. Kim, yourself. Well, Dr. Kim's been out for a little bit, but you, Dr. Cook, and Dr. Chen, very impressed. Very impressed.
Well, thank you. And thank you.
Yeah, so I think that all counties definitely, I would have to say, become a premier oral surgery group.
Oh, absolutely.
From the quality of the surgeons down to, the care the patients are getting, the availability, it's amazing. And I'm very happy I was able to pull this all together.
Yeah, I'm
And
proud of
I'm
you.
excited to see how much further we can get this going.
We're just getting started. And
We are just getting started.
that's the analytics. Lost 2 of the best doctors, but then everyone's brand new, like fresh out of residency. I mean, brand new coming in.
Right.
If you think about it, this is going to be the lowest of like revenue that it's going to be.
Correct.
Right? Most of
Correct.
us don't even have our sedation license yet. So we're working handicapped here in a sense.
Correct.
It's we're going to be a well-oiled machine. This is exciting. Yeah. When are you with me and Melville tomorrow? Are you going to be in the
I
city?
am. I'm with you in the morning. I'm leaving early tomorrow to go see my daughter. Parents' weekend.
Which
Yeah.
Sure. Where are you
The
going?
younger one going down to Miami.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I'm excited. That's my younger one, freshman year. So I'm excited to see her. It's only been a month, but she's excited to see us. We're excited to see her. We're gonna go to the football game Saturday. They're playing UFC, UCF, University of Central Florida. Should be a great game. They're actually both ranked in the top 25, so it should be a great game this year.
Wow.
It's definitely going to be a wet one, though. The weather down there in the last 2 weeks has been nonstop rain. Yeah, Miami wet season right now, but it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
technically an empty nester now.
I am, except for my little buddy over there. But yeah, it's exciting. I can't say I've always had partially an empty nest. Being that I was divorced, or that I am divorced, so my kids weren't here with me every day, but they were here a lot. So there were a few days a week that I didn't have them, but still knowing that they're not in the neighborhood is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, they have to grow up some point, right?
True. True. And then I feel like, you use that time to kind of, you're always moving, you're always active, you always got a
I
lot on your
am.
plate. I feel like you were just using that time to kind of put more work in. Were you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yesterday was a crazy day. We worked worked in the morning in the Flushing office, and then went into the city. We got trained on the new Combi machine, just running around and making phone calls and training and getting the office set up. It's busy. It's busy for me right now. We have other things in the works. Working with that, the banks. It's just been very, very hectic time for me right now. It's
Right.
not all about, for me at this point, it's not all about clinical anymore. It's a little bit of both. So may not be as busy as I once was chairside, but I'm busier in other avenues.
Yeah.
Running the business.
Administrative role. I mean, it's a lot more running around, a lot less on your feet chair side, like you said, but a lot
Yeah,
more running around. I mean, now we're going from Manhattan, obviously, but then all the way out to, well, I'll let you say it. Where you
yeah.
are.
We're gonna hold off until that's officially signed and sealed. So we
That's
we
fair.
are we are waiting to wrap something up a little bit further out east. So I'm excited about that. And there may actually be another practice that I'm looking at, another spot in New York City. So we'll see if that progresses. So
Manhattan, New York City,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
lower, maybe? What do you think?
Somewhere. Yeah.
Somewhere in the.
You sign these NDAs, unfortunately, so you can't really give too much information out. So I got myself into trouble once before, so can't do that anymore.
And how is that? We could talk about it now in
Yeah,
hindsight, right? How,
yeah.
like, what was that? What trouble? You know what I mean? It wasn't
So,
anything you
at
were
one
talking
point I
about.
was looking to buy a practice, and I had mentioned it to my associates which practice it was, and which I probably shouldn't have done, but I thought, within my own practice I can mention it. And then just in passing, one of the associates said something, and it got back to the seller, and the seller flipped out that I was spreading the word that they were looking to sell the practice.
Mm,
So, in hindsight, it was not done intentionally,
right.
but in hindsight, I have to really watch what I say. So for future, endeavors, but nothing was done intentionally, obviously.
Right. It was.
And it wasn't harmful to anybody, but some people take things a little bit extraneously. So,
And hey, you know what I mean? You got your answer a little bit sooner. If we're thinking,
yeah. So, anyway, how are you liking being an all county professional?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I am
Yeah.
glad that I am very busy. I like it that way. I like being busy. I was almost thinking about it like, the more sedations and wisdom teeth, as I get, say, the anesthesia license and then start doing sedations and wisdom teeth, that technically would translate to less patients or less procedures, I mean, in the morning in the hours.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, depending on rooms, but,
Depending on,
yeah.
listen, one thing about me and one thing that I've never done from the time I started having a I don't oversee and I don't micromanage. I oversee, I don't micromanage. Let's put it to you that way. I want everybody to work at their own pace. I want everybody to feel comfortable, so, I feel like we've had associates in the past that really couldn't handle the pace. And, if you're with me for a year, if you're with me for a year and you can't handle the pace, then you move on. We've had a few that had to move on because they
Mm.
really was just not for them. And, I wish them well. and they did their thing and they moved on. But most of the time, I think after you get your feet wet, you notice it's really not as grueling of a schedule as it looks like when you first start,
Right.
right? You walk in day one and you see all the patients in this schedule. You're like, how am I getting through my day? And then, after a week or two, you're like, wow, I think I could see more actually.
That was, yeah. I think I told you like day two. I was like, all right, we can limit from 1 hour to we can get these
Yeah.
appointments in 15
Yeah.
minutes. But
Right.
I think the biggest thing for me, it ended up being the computer system, especially sharing the computer with Brar, because then the sign in, it's like, oh, you're on the
Yeah.
computer. I'll just come back later. But to be able to go back to a desk and having like my own computer already still up on the note with the patient I
Right.
was just looking at, for
Did that come
example.
in today, by the way?
There was an IT guy walking around. I didn't see any boxes though.
All right. So I think it should be there tomorrow.
Okay, great. Yeah, whenever
Yeah.
that's up and running, we get DSN on there, get the X-rays uploaded, Dentrix, CBCT. Yeah, it's going to allow us so that like I'm not stepping on his toes or vice versa.
No, no, it's good. Yeah, and how are you finding, introducing yourself to the community? Have you made any contact with any of the local dentists at all, or
Yeah, actually, I just got off the phone with Adam Maslow.
Maslow?
Maslow. Yeah. Oh, you know him. He's on East Main
Of
Street
course
in
I know.
Huntington. Of course, you know.
A lot of, like I said, it's almost my 20th year, so there really shouldn't be that many dentists that I don't know. And the
True.
ones that I don't know are the ones that would be great for you and Dr. Brar to go and introduce yourselves to,
Yeah,
right? And
actually.
those,
Yeah. And speaking of, I have actually going to do one of the episodes of Long Island Dentists, the younger dentist, right, that you're referring to, kind of like coming out in a similar time.
right.
Her name's Camilla. She's a pediatric dentist, but she referred a couple of the premolars and primary teeth extractions
Does
to us.
she work for herself or does she work in a group practice?
Group practice in Comac. And so I was thinking stopping by, bringing some donuts over there,
Hmm.
have on the podcast. Maybe some moms in the area that have kids can get to listen to the
I
podcast.
love the idea of you bringing in general dentists for the podcast.
We have to do it, right?
I
And
love it.
Long Island
Love
Dentist.
it.
Someone could. It's like a channel that people could go to, and you could get to know your dentist on a different level. What do they eat
I
for
love it.
lunch every day? What do they do after work? Stuff like that.
I love it. I think it's a great concept.
And it's a way for us to get to know them as well.
Yeah.
So that's
Because
what I want to do.
it's always that, you could talk to somebody on the phone for 10 years and not know who that person is. And then one day you bump into them and you're like, you're Dr. X, and you're like, you have this vision in your head what this guy or woman's going to look like. And then you finally see them and you're like, not anything what I anticipated.
Right? Yeah, you recognize the voice, but then seeing
Yeah.
them in person, like what?
Yeah, yeah, it's good too. And then this way we can also, promote our study clubs on the Long Island Dentist channel,
100%.
which we are actually having a study club next Wednesday night if anybody's interested.
17.
The 17th, can contact you or myself if they want more information about that.
And what was the location? Just so we can remind everyone.
It was Garden City,
Yep.
Novita in Garden City. I
Yep.
think it was like 6 to 9 or something like that, or
Yeah, it's like
right.
6:30 tonight, something like
So
that.
yeah, registration's like at 6:30. It's a
And
lecture. It's
we do this
BioHorizon
once a year.
sponsored lecture. It's basically just going to be on digital implant dentistry, the new connections with BioHorizon, the new conical connection versus the old hex, and the advantages of using, BioHorizon parts versus knockoffs and all that kind of stuff. So good lecture, good venue. Novita always gets a good turnout over there. Looks like a little bit of a dungeon, but it's always a good venue.
It's just in the basement. That's all. We had it there
Yeah,
last year, and
we have it there. We've had one there. We do them there a lot. I think it's a good location because it's very centralized for all of our referring doctors. So it's one of the reasons why we choose that location. But we do multiple study clubs a year, and I think now this year we're going to try to get one in like at least every other month. If it's not one of us lecturing, we'll be bringing in a lecture. And if any of the referring doctors have anything in mind that they would like to be lectured on, would be great. Contact us, and we have a very strong connection with a lot of people. We can get a lot of different referring a lot of different lecturers to come in on different topics.
It was
You
pretty
know,
cool last year because we got one of the guys who's involved with designing the implants
right?
themselves, right, from
Yeah,
High
that
Horizons.
was good.
I like
Problem
that.
is sometimes even I know for myself they get very technical.
They do.
And so like this one, I'm going to lecture, and I try not to make it technical. I try to make it a lot more, user friendly and really what we want to hear as, the average Joe.
Yeah.
And just
You
try to
take out
keep
a
it
tooth, you
light.
got a hole, you put the implant in the hole,
Yeah,
you
you put a
call it a
hole,
day, right?
drill a hole, stick it in the hole, put a screw in my screw, and call it a day. But
And
yeah,
they're talking about the taper and the mechanics and the forces distribution, and it's fine though because they're passionate
that's
about
their
it. Right?
thing. That's their thing. But yeah, usually we do one or two big lectures a year where it's like an all day thing. But
I
you
came all
know,
the way out last year that one at Novita. Remember, I was in like
yeah,
some Under
your
Armour
pops got a
camo.
free meal off me.
That's right. He picked me up from the train station, and then right afterwards, I had to head back to the set. I was at Bellevue too. That was not an easy thing to get to, but well, yeah, that's a good
That
memory.
all worked out.
Oh, it worked out great. That was
All
fun.
worked out.
That was fun. Would it be next week when you're in Manhattan? When are you really starting to kind
We're
of
gonna next week will be my first patient in Manhattan.
next week? Okay, you already
Next
got
week,
the schedule.
we got a couple of patients in the schedule next week.
And the CBCT thing that you said you're going to, that was tomorrow?
No, we did that. We did that yesterday.
Yes.
We have what do we have? Dexis machines in all of our offices. We
Yeah.
went with a Vatek in Manhattan. Got to tell you, very impressed.
Really?
Very impressed.
Do you think
So
it could be a future at all? I mean, the one in Melville looks great. It works.
yeah, I think they all take the same images. I think it's this actual software, how they reconstruct the images is what it comes down to. Because
Uh,
I know, like in Astoria, we have the Dexys, but they're not using the same software. They're using their new imaging software, and the images come out much nicer.
in Astoria
Yeah.
compared to everywhere else, or just
The problem is now with the DSN software, we're having issues getting that linked all up. So it's been a little bit of a challenge with DSN,
okay?
being able to see them remotely, which was part of the reason why I went with DSN is to be able to see images remotely, and it's still problematic.
Promises, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I'm finding it great to be in Melville. I mean, I pull it up right in the patient. I show them where the canal is. I say, look, this is your route.
Yeah,
This is
but
the nerve
that's you're looking at it
in the office. Yeah.
locally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at it locally. So if you were to go home and try to pull up an X-ray
Mm.
from the day, you would not be able to do that.
And actually, that brings up a great point. I have a implant case, bilateral sinus lift, bilateral two implants that I wanted to plan on DTX. Oh yeah, you're in the office
On
as well.
DTX, you mean on Anatomage?
DTX is like my personal laptop software.
Okay.
It's HIPAA protected, but it's the one I use in residency, and I wanted to
Okay.
upload and plan this case on there. I could just put it on a flash drive in the office, right, and then plug it
Yeah.
in. Okay, cool. I just
Yeah.
haven't done it yet. I wanted to run that through you. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Take a look at that. Should be
Yeah,
interesting.
excellent. Yeah. So you had to run into the city today, and then you come back out. Was that for the office?
Yeah, I ran into the city today to grab my pup because
Oh,
we're going to Miami, so I had to grab him so my sister could watch him for the weekend.
okay.
Yeah.
So the pup was in the city at your
Yeah, he
pup.
stays with Jen in the city during the week.
Oh, so you're home alone, but with the pup tonight.
Yeah, yeah. So the days that I work on Long Island, I typically sleep here the night before. And the days I work in Queens or the city, I'll sleep in the city the night before.
How do you like that? Because years ago it was just out here on Long Island, right?
Yeah, I love it.
You like the
I love the
switch?
city. I love the city.
You going out there like dinner at night and stuff?
Yeah, all the time.
And where are you in this? It's Upper East, right?
I'm
Right
on
near
the
the
Upper
office?
East Side. I'm in the 80s right now.
These are nice. How far from Central Park?
A couple of avenues over. We're on Third.
Third. Okay, so you're right in between like the East River, Central Park. That's a great
Yeah.
area. So many restaurants over there. You could
Yeah.
go out at a different place every day of the
You
week.
sure can. Yeah, you'll be broke by the end of the month.
No. So you put on the Patek. Do you pronounce it Patek or Patek? I'm
I
curious.
say, how do I say it? Patek.
Patek, right?
Yeah,
I was pronouncing it Patek, but I was like
Patek, Patek.
Elite.
I say Patek.
Is this your favorite one? Is this is the one you were telling me about a year ago that you were going to get?
This is One of them.
You got the moon. Is that the moon? Yeah, you got the moon phase
Yep.
on there, day of the
Yep.
month,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then
This
that's
is
the
a
power reserve. No,
power reserve. Yep. This one's discontinued actually.
I didn't know that. Why did they say why they discontinued it?
I think they still make it in rose gold. I don't know if they make it in stainless steel.
Ah, okay, okay. I'll catch up to you in about 19 years.
I'll sell it to you. Actually my favorite. I'm still an AP guy.
You have
I
two.
have
I know the two.
three.
You have three
I
APs.
have three APs, all on rubber straps. I have a diver and two offshores.
You've is the diver the
The
just
big, the diver is the one that has two screws, one on each side.
yes, yeah,
The
the one
high
on
it
the
has
angle.
one on the upper right side, upper left, and then the one in the middle here. That one I have with a green rubber with a beige dial.
That's nice.
Nice. And then I have my that royal blue one. And then I just got a new one. I got a new one with a black ceramic with yellow gold. It's got like yellow gold trim in it and on a red strap. It came with a red strap and a black crocodile.
Oh, it came with black crocodile too.
Yeah.
Oh, because you were wearing the red strap in the
Yeah.
office last week.
Yeah.
Crocodile must be. I gotta
Actually,
see.
actually, the dealer I got it from threw in a yellow strap also, yellow rubber strap.
So you have blue. You and your Hublot. Your Hublot has white rubber.
White. Yeah.
You got all the colors of the rainbow over here. What was no, no, no. That's good. That's good. That's good.
No
I
purple.
like.
No purple.
I think I like the. I definitely like the silver Royal Oak with the offshore with the blue strap the best. That was the first one. That's when I met you for the first time.
The
You were wearing
royal
that.
blue one. Yeah, I wear that one in the winter time.
I'm always gonna remember you for having that one. That one's gonna
Yeah.
be like when I envision you. That one's the one to go with.
I think I have a watch sickness.
Oh, is it a sickness or is it the antidote? I don't know.
It's a little bit of a sickness. It's a little bit.
Well, what about cars and boats? Because you have the one boat. You don't have a second boat. You just don't have the one, right?
One boat.
Okay. How many cars?
Enough.
Enough. Enough. Okay. Okay. I remember I was chatting with Dr. Hanna, and I was trying to ask him about he mentioned a Ferrari, and I was like, "You have a Ferrari?" And he's, "Oh well," and then he kind of cut me off. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pry. I don't want you to come up like I want you to be. That's
Yeah.
fun. It's hobbies.
They get expensive.
I wouldn't know.
Some of these hobbies get expensive. Good thing about the watches, they don't really lose. The watches I get don't really lose a lot of value to them. So like, you pass these on to my kids, and they'll have, if they want to sell them, they could sell them. They want to have heirlooms, they can have heirlooms.
Maybe one passes on to
One to
partner in
Dr.
practice.
Gallagher.
Yeah. We'll
But
see. We'll see.
you'll have to fight my brother-in-law. He wants one.
Yeah, but we don't have to worry about that. Would you say? What about real estate though? 'Cause
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well with real estate. Got doing pretty well with that. I actually a couple months ago bought my first commercial real estate, which one of the offices in the Brooklyn location. So I bought the Brooklyn office.
nice.
Yeah, so that's the first actual commercial real estate property that I have, and I'm actually working on one now to trying to get that one closed up. So that would be the second commercial property.
Second commercial property. And
Mhm.
well, the reason I bring this up, I'm not trying to pry. I'm bringing this up intentionally because we were talking about retaining value and stuff. As a young surgeon, there's certain things we can invest in over time, right? Like you have stocks, you have real estate. Some people have cars, some people have watches and stuff.
Start with your 401k
1K. Why? Why? I've heard that many times. So
because one, it's a tax advantage, right? You're going to take money off the gross, comes off your gross, all
Mhm.
right? That should be the first thing you do, no matter what. You should be maxing out your 401k. And then once you're eligible to get into other plans, you max out all of that. Max out all your retirement plans first. I'm not a financial advisor, right? I'm just telling you what I think. I always think that real estate's a safe bet. I think I've done okay so far with my real estate choices. Other avenues to invest would, obviously stock market. You can get hooked up with a good stock guy. I don't know if you know somebody or not.
yeah,
So you do that. But, I tend not to be super risky in the stock market.
very
Try not to
conservative.
be. Yeah, I think when I was a little bit younger, I was a little bit more riskier. Now it's like, all right, I just want to see it grow and not like worry you know. So I tend to shy away from the risky shit at this point.
So
You
no,
know,
no crypto, no. You know what I mean?
I never really got into it.
Oh, me
Never really
too.
got into it.
All right.
No, I didn't really know enough about it, and the guy that I deal with really always persuaded me to stay away from it.
Hmm.
Listen, he didn't always give me the best advice, but he also didn't give me the worst advice. So I can't, I'm happy. He's made me money, so
I'm sure you
not,
knock him once in a while for like missing Bitcoin back then.
yeah. Netflix, that fucking, I could have had Netflix so cheap back in the day,
When were you
and
looking at it?
he talked me out of it. He talked me out of it. He thought it was going to be a dog, and
From Netflix?
this was, dude, this is like 20 years ago, and it was not as, it was a little bit risky back then. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
something that's so common now.
It's so tough because in hindsight, it's like, how did you not know that that was going to be a thing? But then when you're there, it's like everyone's watching straight television.
Yeah,
So,
but now
hindsight.
people don't really watch TV anymore either,
Right.
right? Who watches TV?
Isn't that crazy how it like changes over time? And then in
Yeah,
20 years from now, people are going to be like, you were watching Netflix? Why didn't you have the goggles on? And who knows?
yeah. But yeah, listen, it's a gamble, right? It's
Yeah.
legalized gambling. Stock market is legalized gambling.
That's a
So
good point.
it is.
Do we have, actually, that's a good question. Do we have the 401k option thing or do I have to do that outside
No,
of?
you're gonna have to, the first year you have to start something on your own because
Hmm.
unfortunately you have to be with the company for a year before you become eligible.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would start something that you can roll over in a year.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You should talk to Tim. I'll get you connected with Tim just at least so he can help plan you.
Sure. Yeah. That'd be helpful.
He's a good wealth of knowledge. So talk to him. And then yeah, other than that, I think we're just doing great. I think we really the key for us is really to just keep the marketing going. We got to really just keep marketing the practice, marketing our abilities, our competence, our goal to in patient care and desire to make everybody happy and comfortable. So I think that's really where we're at. I think everything else is pretty much on par. It's just really just getting out into the public now at this point. We really should be trying to get more involved in the neighborhoods, like some
Mhm.
fairs and stuff like that. Like last weekend there was a Second Avenue fair or Third Avenue fair in the city.
Hmm.
Next year I'm going to make sure I get involved in that so that we promote the city office. I know that in in Flushing, I participate with something, the Whitestone something or other. So I want you to like figure out what's best for us in Melville, and
Yeah.
and the other guys should get involved. Brooklyn really could use a lot of marketing. That's really Brooklyn, Astoria. Those two offices really, I think, need a lot. Is where we're lacking.
I was looking at, I'm really, so something I noticed when I worked for the oral surgery practice in my gap year is, do you remember, I mean, they're still around, right? Zwanger, Parisi, Pasiri, whatever it is.
Langer Passeri, yeah,
Zwanger, Pasiri. They had those pens and they would go to the offices and draw.
yeah,
Those pens were phenomenal, right? They came in all the colors. I like the pens of Wall County. And what I want to do
they're
is
very similar.
they're very similar. Yeah, and the colors look good. Couple things I want us to market using those colors. So like how when you get an ice pack, what color is it? White. So why don't we make black ice packs with the green logo on it? It's going to look different from every other ice pack out there, and it's a marketing stunt. So it's just a little thing, and we can bring it to offices. The patients go home with it, maybe like a special ice pack. But yeah, I
We
want to go
have
to the
that.
offices.
We have that.
No, I know the ice packs, but make them different where it's a black ice pack. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we tried that. We have the wrap with the logo on it, but we tried to get the black wrap, and they said it was too hard to write the logo on. It
Hmm.
didn't come out very well.
Okay. All right. We'll have to look into
But
that.
we can look back at it.
I'll spearhead that. I'll spearhead that mission. Yeah. And then we go to the offices. I wanted to. Well, I didn't. I should have known that Dr. Maslow.
Of course,
I should have known that because I was going to bring him donuts tomorrow after work.
you can stop by.
I'm
He's a
going
good
to.
guy.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
We're planning cases together. I actually referred a patient to him today that was unhappy. Wanted to go to him, so I called him up. I said, "Hey, I got someone coming your way. Just giving you a heads up." It's exciting. I'm so glad finally out here. Dude, we were talking for the last almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. Yeah.
Right? And I've been waiting to get out here and work with you. So this is exciting. Finally, let's just really quick because
Yeah.
I want listeners to listen to this. Episode one. I'm so glad that I got you on the episode one. Thank you for
I'm
taking
glad to
the time
be
about that.
on episode one.
And I could bring this up. I just wanted to bring up all the offices of all county oral surgery. I want to get all dentists on. I want to get all dentists of Long Island on here. Let's chat. Let's get to meet each other. And this is an opportunity for patients to meet you, other providers to meet you, listen to. I mean, imagine when you were a kid. Actually, I never asked you this. What time in your life did you decide to go into dentistry?
Well, originally I wanted to be a heart surgeon.
No, really?
I did. I did. For a long time, I thought I was going to be a cardiovascular surgeon. And then, I don't know, got to college, just didn't think I had the desire to really hit the books as hard as I needed to. And financially, it just was just too much for me.
It's a long
So
route.
I pivoted and I went with dentistry. And I think we discussed this. I met some people along the way who had, really great lifestyles as a dentist. And then graduating dental school and going to Kings County and seeing what the oral surgeons were doing there as a GPR, it was life changing. I knew the second I walked into that place, there was no way I was leaving without being an oral surgeon. There just wasn't
What was one thing you remember from that moment where it was like, there's no way
just
I got to do
just the trauma, just
it?
seeing these guys being real surgeons. And to
Yeah.
me, it really enticed me. And I just said to myself, this is what I want to do. I'll break my ass trying to get into it.
Did
And I
that
did.
ever cross your mind at Buffalo?
No,
Really? Do you think
no.
Buffalo kind of caters to just let's create general dentists, let's do that?
I
Because,
think
or
Buffalo, I'm going to be honest with you, I hated dental school.
I mean, it's
I
fair.
hated I hated dental school. So I really didn't put much thought process into what I wanted to do because all I thought about was getting finished through it. I was
Mhm.
broke. I had no money. I had no real family support, and all I wanted to do was finish. And my thought process was maybe a couple of years afterwards, I would get more into the business end of it, and I guess that's what I ended up doing both.
I mean, and you did it so early too. You did it. What was it, at the end of GPR year or the first year of?
Yeah, yeah,
It's just such an incredible story. And for listeners that don't know what I'm referencing, on one of the last two, because this is part three technically, right?
yeah.
It was first year or was it
I
GPR
think
year?
it was my. I think I was in my that 1 year, between, you
Like the
know,
non-categorical. Yeah, 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 yeah.
non-categorical year when they weren't guaranteeing me a year. They weren't guaranteeing me a spot the next year, and I didn't know what to do. And this thing came my way, and at the time, I always thought Bay Ridge was like this really happening place, and I jumped on it, and then I eventually got into oral surgery, and I was running a
Oh,
GPR practice while I was an oral surgery resident.
did you always have that tenacity to be able to manage everything all at once, getting literally no sleep, or was it kind of that point? Because that
I
was.
think that I kind of grew into that. I
Mm.
think that my dad was like that. I don't have the best relation. We don't have the best relationship, but the one thing I did take away from him is that he could work from 6 in the morning till 5:59 a.m. the next day if he had to. He just was that kind of guy. Was a hustler. He was a school teacher, and he sold back in the day. Cable TV was a door to door sales job. So
Oh,
he would used to go. He was a teacher, and then at the end of work, he from Brooklyn, he would drive back to Long Island, and he would go door to door selling cable TV, and he would stay out till 10 o'clock at night and do it all over again the next morning.
so two jobs and
Two jobs,
in-person jobs.
two jobs, two full time jobs.
That's not easy.
No, and I think I got that, and also my mom. My mom, she worked very hard too. She was a head of an HR department of a nonprofit organization. She worked very long hours, and she devoted a good portion of her life to that company. I just think that I have that drive in me. My kids see it. Their mom has a pretty good drive as well. But it's funny. I remember my older one said to me once. She goes, "Dad, I love you, but I never want to work like you do." I'm like, okay.
What was she gonna do then? You gotta
She
work
she'll
hard.
she'll work hard. She works hard. She's very bright. She will go places. No worries about her. She took the LSAT already. sending out applications. She'll be going to law school next year. She'll have her pick of where she wants to go.
Law school, very
Yeah,
nice. So
yeah,
her grades are looking stellar, huh?
very good.
Took the
Yep,
LSAT, or
yep.
so she's all set to go.
Yeah, she's good. She did well, and my little Republican over there.
Jesus. I got so actually that's a good question. And you don't have to answer this, but looking back in hindsight, would you do it all differently or all the same?
If I were to do it all over again,
Each step of the way, thinking dental school, residency, practice. Remember you were we were talking just last week when
I
you
think I
were
would have liked to have been a
yeah.
plastic surgeon.
Why? Why is that? Plastics? Really? It's great, but I don't see you doing
Just
plastic surgery.
just liked being in the operating room. I
Huh.
really did. I liked being in the operating room. I don't think I wanted to do, looking back, I definitely don't want to have been like involved in life-saving procedures. I think that really would have aged me very, very quickly. And,
Mm.
I don't think that the
Not heart surgery.
reward for that is really worth it.
Right.
I leave that to other people to do. I commend them. But
Mm.
I'm very happy being in a profession that's not knock on wood a life threatening, or life saving profession. We're life changing, but we're
I
not
think
life
yeah.
saving. But if I were to do things any differently, step by step, no, no, no. I think every step of the way, whatever I encountered made me who I am today. I had a very tough, I don't know if he listens to this or not, but I had a very tough oral surgery director, Dr. Lazow. He
Oh,
was a very, very strict guy, and, he was a no nonsense guy. I think that he carved his residents out to be the way he wanted them to be. Whatever he did worked because he created very, very successful people. And then my two partners, when I came out, it was a means to an end. It was a means to an end. I don't want to say anything negative. It was what it was, and thankfully they're gone, and I'm here, and
well, let's talk on the positive. I just found
yeah,
out that my friend from high school, her
yeah,
father was one of the basically your mentors
yes,
starting out, right?
yes, yes.
Tell me more about that. Like, what was kind of you guys coupling
So
up?
I
It took
had
you meeting, right?
I had two partners that were both the same age. They trained together at Kings County, Dr. Colachico and Dr. Tolman. I believe Colachico graduated a year earlier. They came out and they started the Melville practice together. And then a few years later, they opened up a small practice in Flushing on Crocheron Avenue. And the Flushing office just exploded. And they moved over to 2730 Francis Lewis, which was a house, which was the previous oral surgery office that I practiced in for the last 18 years prior to moving last year. It was a three-chair operatory in a house that you had to walk up a flight of stairs, and the house would just pump. We would see a ton of patients on a day-to-day basis in that little house.
Why don't you get sedation patients out the stairs?
Shove them right down. They got up, they got down, buddy.
They had a good time. They had a good time. They don't remember.
And you listen. Did we lost a bunch of patients, because of the steps, and it was what it was. Things happened where I was kind of forced to leave, and I opened up that beautiful office on Francis Lewis now.
Yeah.
And like I said, everything happens for a reason.
We weren't forced out. You're in a better spot.
Colachico and I definitely had a great working relationship. We worked one day a week together. It's a lot of laughs, a lot of laughs.
That's what
You
she told
know,
me. Yeah, that you guys
just
were close.
just a lot of laughs. We would drive in together. We would drive home together. Just from the second we would get into the car to the second we left at the end of the day, we would laugh the whole day. And that went on for a good 6-7 years, and it was fun. And it was fun. But Dr. Tolman retired as soon as I became a full third partner, which was kind of weird. He obviously didn't want to be a partner with me, so he retired, and we bought him out. And then 2 years later, Colachico said he was going to retire, and then unfortunately he fell and he broke his wrist a couple of months before he was going to retire. So I said, and then he was out. So I said, why don't we just call it quits here?
Oh my.
And that's where I started by myself. Basically, I had two offices and I was solo, and I had to find associates. And 8 years ago, I wasn't as well known, and it was very hard for me to find associates. I wasn't in a position to pay what I'm able to pay now.
Mm.
And, I met Dr. Jared Miller. He came on board. He was with me for a few years. Great guy. He did a great job. And, COVID came around and he ended up leaving. And then
Where'd you
Brittany
go?
Eckert, he just decided he wasn't going to come back and work for me.
I didn't know if you like moved to another part of the
No,
country.
he just actually opened up his own place in Long Island City after being out for almost, I don't know, 10 years. Took him like 10 years to open up his own place.
Wow. Wow.
So he opened up, I think it's called Gantry Oral Surgery or something like that. Looks like a beautiful office. Wish him the best. And then the Eckers came along, and then a few other doctors came along, and I just quickly grew. I just said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to get bought out by or get taken over by corporate. I'm going to beat the system. I'm going to
Build it.
grow on my own.
Build it. Yeah.
Listen, it's a little bit harder for me to get funding than a regular DSO does and these private equity guys. So I stress at night when it takes the banks a few extra, an extra month or two to say, hey, all right, let's give them the money. But at the end of the day, knock on wood, it seems to work out, and they always seem to have faith in me. I haven't let them down yet, and hopefully they continue to see the growth, that potential that I have, and we see where it goes.
So then tell me and listeners this. Do you need private equity to do this? It's not easy, of course, but if you
No,
could do it without it being handed to you.
you don't need private equity. You don't need anybody. If you're independently wealthy, you don't need anybody.
Oh, true.
I was able to go 4 or 5 offices without having to take a penny out of the bank. I have some really great guys that I work with. I have a contractor that's him and I became very, very friendly. He is the best.
Is he the one
He
that
will.
worked at Melville? Built it?
No, actually, he was not around at the time. You might have met him. Dan, little guy, really nice guy.
Dan.
Anyway, he helps me. He'll finance some of the build out, and I pay him out over time, and we have a great arrangement for some of these projects. Then we have Kevin, our repair guy. He's amazing as well. I keep them busy, and I feel like they are like part of the team. I couldn't do this without some of these guys.
Right.
And it's amazing because I'm not like a regular dental office. I call these guys and they come running. Even like the supply companies, you get to a certain level and the respect is way, way higher. And it's a great feeling.
It is.
But I don't abuse it either. You know what I mean? I still feel like I'm very grounded. I don't, feel like I still know where I came from. Let's just put it to you that way.
Yeah,
And I just think that that's the key. If I could give you a piece of advice, remember where you came from. People don't like arrogant people.
No.
They don't like arrogant people. If you can stay grounded and be who you are, I think it's the best because you get more out of life from people when they feel like you're on the same level, right?
No one wants to be talked down to.
Yeah, I never, ever, ever. I'm not one of those guys. Hey, I'm Dr. Chavkin. I'm like, hey, I'll call up. I'm like, hey, it's Ross. Like one of the guys. I'm not a throw a doctor name around.
Right,
and
right.
it's just who I am. I'm more comfortable that way.
I told the patients to tell when I sent them over to the general dentist, just tell them Dr. Gallagher. I'm trying to let my last name just because Brendan sounds like Brandon.
No, you have something like that. I would, yeah. You'll listen, dude. You're like week 1 out. You know what I mean? Like after a while, you'd be like if you were sending something to Mazzo, I would just be like, I would have said, oh, just tell him Chavkin says hello. That's how I talk.
I had no idea that you knew. That's probably my fault.
That's how I talk. But that's fine. You're going to develop your own shtick over time. But whatever you do, it'll work. Just be consistent with it.
100%. Yeah. And you know this. We're very lucky and fortunate to be working for you.
Thank you.
We're working for one of the best.
Thank you.
And that's it. This is Long Island Dentist. This is the oral surgeons of Long Island, right?
Yeah.
Really quickly, let me share the screen because I brought up right over here all county oral surgery, and yeah, right here. That's you, by the way, right there. But that wall, that back wall, is just gorgeous with the rocks.
Yep.
I
We have to
always
update that, by the way.
update. What?
We have to get all of you guys on there.
Well, the pictures, yeah. I
Yeah.
just got a text back, speaking of, from Nicola today, our photographer. And here are the locations, by the way, for viewers, but for listeners. But as far as what would be a good day, so it's not conflicting with anyone's schedules, we could all get in the office, we take photos and stuff, we update the website, because we do need to do this. Elise has been asking me, like, hey, when are we going to get the photos?
Well, then you should speak to everybody and pick
Sure.
a day and do it in Queens.
Queens, okay.
Queens has a beautiful wall, number one. A lot
Good,
of
we need that.
space, and it's convenient for everybody.
Okay, good. We'll be in scrubs, be black
Yeah.
scrubs, scarlet
Yep.
scrubs, whatever. In
Yep.
front of the wall, we have nice professionals photos, and then I told you I wanted to update the referring cards. Let's get our faces on there, since there's so many offices. People want to know who they're referring to and remember them. Oh, they came into my office. Which one was it? I want to get the goodie bags too for when
Yeah.
people leave after sedations, after surgery. They get the goodie bags, the ice pack, the post-op instructions, the gauze. It'd be nice if the locations, maybe a QR code to the website for Google reviews are on there. Yeah, this is the coming months. We're in go mode. We're in all gas, no brakes, right?
Sounds
This is
good.
good. So, it's exciting. And thanks
Yeah.
for coming on again tonight.
No, I love
I'll
it.
let you go now, and
All good.
this is episode 1. This is exciting.
Yes, sir. Let's keep
All
it
right,
going.
Chavkin.
All right, my man.
Thanks for coming on again.
Have a good night. I'll see you in the morning.
All right, good night.
All
Good
right.
night.
Bye.